LA to help kids in shelters. I'm here today to talk about something really close to my heart. Helping kids in shelters, especially those who are facing such emotional challenges. It's not just about providing them a roof over their heads, but also offering social emotional support, so they feel safe and cared for. It's a big job. And we're working hand in hand with organizations like the Red Cross to ensure shelters are set up properly for everyone in need: moms, dads, babies, kids. All of them deserve to feel supported. Everyone in these situations needs help, and we need to be there for them. I also want to take a moment to mention something personal. I recently lost a friend, and that's been really tough. It's very raw right now, so I don't feel like talking about her just yet, but yes, there are moments in life that put things into perspective. Losing a friend, someone close to you, reminds you of just how fragile life can be. JLo's LA fire relief controversy. Now, onto something that's been grabbing headlines lately: Jennifer Lopez. Let's talk about her and the LA fires. I know many of you have been seeing the reports, and there's a lot of buzz surrounding her actions or lack thereof during this tragic time. It looks like Jennifer Garner has had enough of JLo's antics, especially when it comes to her alleged selfish and opportunistic behavior during the fires. According to multiple sources, Jennifer Garner has been quite vocal, throwing some serious shade at JLo for what she considers to be an attempt at using the fire relief efforts to clean up JLo's image. So, what's the deal here? We're talking about cancelled appearances, donation links, and accusations that JLo is trying to use a national tragedy to get good PR. But is she really doing this out of the goodness of her heart, or is there something more strategic going on behind the scenes? Let's take a deeper look. JLo cancels appearances. JLo recently made the decision to cancel a string of major appearances. Talk shows like The View, Live with Kelly and Mark, and The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon all lost her as a guest. According to those close to her, she did this to raise awareness for the LA fires and show support for the victims. But here's where things get tricky. She didn't just open her wallet and donate millions from her own fortune. Instead, she shared a donation link with her fans. And that's where the controversy begins. Now, before we get too deep into this, it's important to note that JLo, being a multimillionaire and some would argue a billionaire, could easily help financially in a significant way. But instead, she asked her fans, most of whom are everyday, working class people, to chip in. So, while JLo has millions, potentially billions, sitting in the bank, she's asking the general public to take action. Does that seem right? This move is drawing comparisons to the backlash Oprah and The Rock faced during the 2023 Maui fires. Remember that they were both criticized for asking the public to contribute to a relief fund, even though their own personal wealth could have easily funded the relief efforts many times over. Jennifer Garner's hands-on efforts. Let's switch gears and talk about Jennifer Garner for a moment. While JLo was posting links from her mansion, Jennifer Garner was actually on the ground helping those in need. She teamed up with World Central Kitchen, a nonprofit that provides meals during disasters, founded by celebrity chef Jose Andres. Garner didn't just stand by and look cute for a photo op. She was out there, physically delivering meals to first responders and families who lost everything in the fires. Jennifer was spotted carrying WCK-branded duffel bags and getting out of a supply van, ready to distribute food to restaurants and food trucks partnering with WCK. This wasn't just about showing up for the cameras, she was hands-on, actively helping. Fans and media outlets alike praised her for her genuine efforts, noting that she didn't try to make it about herself. In fact, she even downplayed her involvement in interviews, saying, "0% of this is about me. I have my home, I'm safe. These people need help, and that's where the focus should be. Garner's humility and public perception. You know, it's one thing to share donation links on social media, but it's entirely different to physically show up and help people in the trenches. Garner's actions stood in stark contrast to J.Lo's more detached approach of sending out donation requests. And this is where things really began to snowball. Fans and critics alike started comparing the two and how they handled the disaster response. One is out in the streets, helping directly, the other is at home sharing links, asking others to do the heavy lifting. What's more, Garner's humility shone through in interviews. She spoke candidly about how overwhelming the devastation was, admitting that the community wasn't even close to processing the scale of the tragedy. Ben Affleck and the PR fallout. Now, let's get into the personal side of this because it only adds fuel to the fire. When the wildfires broke out near Ben Affleck's $20 million Pacific Palisades home, guess where he decided to go? Not to J.Lo's mansion but rather to his ex-wife Jennifer Garner's house in Brentwood. Reports claim he evacuated to Garner's place, where their 3 kids were staying. This move sparked a lot of questions. Was he just trying to ensure his safety, or was there something more going on? Some people speculated that Ben felt more comfortable seeking refuge with his ex-wife rather than staying at J.Lo's. And considering the media frenzy, this wasn't the best look for J.Lo. People already noticed the contrast between Ben seeking safety with Jennifer Garner while she was on the front lines helping those affected by the fires, and J.Lo, well, not exactly getting her hands dirty. Conspiracy theories about the fires. Now, let's address something a bit more controversial that's been circulating: the conspiracy theories surrounding the fires. There's been buzz suggesting that these wildfires were deliberately set to destroy evidence ahead of Diddy's high-profile trial, which is set to begin in May 2025. According to conspiracy theorists, these fires might not be as natural as they seem. The timing is just too convenient, especially when you consider that high-profile properties were among those affected. Could the fires be part of a larger plan to cover up evidence? This isn't the first time people have linked wildfires to shady dealings. Remember the 2018 Malibu fires and the 2023 Maui fires? Both destroyed properties tied to high-end individuals while sparing homes literally right next door. Suspicious, right? Diddy's trial and Hollywood secrets. Some even suspect that Hollywood elites might be using these fires as a strategy to erase incriminating evidence before Diddy's trial starts. The theory is that these fires could be part of a larger cover-up. Some rumors even suggest that the infamous Diddy's list, which allegedly includes big names like J.Lo, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé, might be linked to some of the properties that were burned in the recent wildfires. Is this all just a coincidence, or is something bigger going on? J.Lo's history of generosity or lack thereof. Now, it's not just the fires that are raising eyebrows about J.Lo. Over the years, she's developed a bit of a reputation for being stingy, especially when it comes to tipping. Numerous stories have surfaced about her being a poor tipper or, in some cases, stopping others from tipping altogether. There's even a wild story about Ben Affleck giving a $110,000 tip to a casino worker, only for J.Lo to take the money back. According to reports, she went around to each person who had received a tip and reduced the amount to just a few bucks. Stories like these make it hard for fans to reconcile J.Lo's image as a generous philanthropist. She has millions of dollars at her disposal, yet she's been criticized for being petty and stingy, especially when it comes to the people who serve her. J.Lo's controversial treatment of staff. J.Lo's treatment of staff has also been a topic of conversation. One infamous story involves her former security head, Hyop Bobian, who worked for her and Mark Anthony. At first, he was promised a stable, high-paying role, but things soured, and he was demoted and eventually forced to resign. He later sued J.Lo and Ben Affleck for mistreatment, and J.Lo retaliated with a countersuit for extortion. While the case was eventually settled, the damage to J.Lo's reputation was already done. Garner's reputation versus J.Lo's. Now, when you compare this to Jennifer Garner, it's like night and day. Garner has consistently been praised for her humility, kindness, and genuine concern for others. Whether it's lending a hand during a crisis or treating others with respect, Jennifer Garner's actions speak volumes. She doesn't just talk about kindness, she lives it. In contrast, J.Lo has a long history of alienating those around her. Whether it's micromanaging her team, firing people for things that weren't their fault, or mistreating service workers, J.Lo's actions have raised questions about her true character. Conclusion. At the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. Jennifer Garner has shown time and time again that she is a genuinely kind person, both in public and behind the scenes. Meanwhile, you said, extend more. ChatGPT said, ChatGPT. Certainly. Let's continue expanding on the themes from the previous sections, diving even deeper into the contrast between J.Lo and Jennifer Garner's public personas, their involvement in philanthropic efforts, and the ongoing controversies surrounding both. Here's the continuation: J.Lo's public image versus reality. J.Lo, on the other hand, continues to maintain her glamorous public image as the ultimate diva. She's built an empire off her music, acting, and entrepreneurial ventures. But as her celebrity status grows, so do the accusations of her self-serving behavior. Critics argue that J.Lo's public generosity, donating to causes or promoting awareness, often feels more like a branding opportunity than a heartfelt mission. For instance, she frequently touts her charitable donations, but when it comes to direct actions like personally showing up to help those affected by disaster, she seems to take a more passive approach. That's where the stark contrast between her and Jennifer Garner becomes undeniable. Jennifer Garner, by contrast, has never sought the spotlight in the same way. She's built a career based on real, down-to-earth values. Whether it's through her activism or her acting, Jennifer has never been one to hide behind a polished public relations campaign. She's willing to put her reputation on the line by diving headfirst into disaster zones, volunteering her time, and offering up her own resources. When Garner shares photos or posts on social media about her charity work, it's not about her, it's about the cause, and that's a quality many admire. J.Lo's relationship with the media. J.Lo has long had a complicated relationship with the media, and it's clear that she's aware of the power she wields. She's often been seen strategically positioning herself in ways that benefit her brand. While she may portray an image of being a humanitarian, critics claim that her actions are more about preserving her public persona rather than genuine acts of kindness. Many point out how she used her relationship with Ben Affleck as a PR tool, reigniting the Bennifer narrative to get back in the public eye, even though the two had a long history of on-again, off-again drama. J.Lo's relationship with the media and the public has evolved over the years, from the days when her infamous Jenny from the Block persona was established, to her more recent endeavors with social media platforms and reality TV appearances. She's learned how to craft her image carefully, but some people feel that this strategy is a little too calculated, especially when it comes to helping in times of crisis. Instead of being out in the field or leading by example, her actions sometimes seem more like a carefully curated narrative rather than true humanitarian work. The Garner effect, unspoken humility. Jennifer Garner, meanwhile, has managed to keep herself out of the limelight, and that's part of the magic. She doesn't have the same sophisticated PR machine behind her. Yet, somehow, she remains one of the most beloved actresses in Hollywood. Her unspoken humility is what sets her apart. It's not just about what she does, it's how she does it. When she partners with organizations like Save the Children or World Central Kitchen, her approach is grounded in authenticity. She's more focused on getting results than making sure the cameras are rolling. And that's a rare quality in a celebrity. This level of humility shines through in her personal life as well. As a mother, she often shares glimpses into her life with her children, but she maintains boundaries, keeping their lives private despite being in the public eye. This genuine sense of self-awareness and humility makes her a beacon for fans who seek authenticity in an era of over-the-top celebrity culture. J.Lo's luxury and controversy. In stark contrast, J.Lo's lifestyle often seems out of touch with the everyday person. Reports of her extravagant vacations, her excessive spending, and the luxurious private jets she's known to board have led some to accuse her of being disconnected from the struggles that average people face. While celebrities are often expected to live lavishly, it's the public contrast that raises eyebrows. J.Lo seems more interested in maintaining her high-profile celebrity status than in engaging with her fans on a personal level. For example, when she made headlines for sharing a donation link, rather than just giving from her own massive wealth, many people felt like her actions came off as tone-deaf. And it doesn't stop there. Her lavish lifestyle extends to how she treats those who work for her, too. Her reported temper, strict demands, and inflated sense of entitlement have made headlines for years. Employees have come forward about her demanding nature, alleging that they were expected to adhere to strict rules with little room for error. With such an image of perfection surrounding her, it's easy to see why J.Lo's actions such as relying on fans to donate rather than stepping up herself raise eyebrows. The impact of social media, J.Lo's strategy. Social media also plays a massive role in how J.Lo shapes her image. She's a master at crafting the narrative she wants to be seen. Her Instagram is filled with photos and videos that capture moments of her life, each one carefully curated to show off her glamorous lifestyle, her happy family moments, and of course, her philanthropic efforts. While there's nothing wrong with using social media to connect with fans, it's also become a platform where her critics can easily call out discrepancies. Her past attempts to turn disaster into opportunity have left people questioning whether she's more interested in controlling her image than truly making a difference. Some of her posts, for example, feature her on the set of a music video, a movie set, or a luxury vacation, all while disasters like the LA fires rage in the background. This stark contrast leaves many asking, if you truly care, why not pause your glamorous activities to focus on the people who need help? Garner's advocacy for mental health and well-being. Jennifer Garner has also become a powerful advocate for mental health and well-being, particularly when it comes to children. She has spoken candidly about the importance of early intervention and helping kids develop emotional resilience. This aspect of her advocacy is tied to her own experience as a mother, and it comes across as genuinely heartfelt. While J.Lo focuses on image, Garner focuses on impact. She's not out there making headlines for the sake of it. She's working quietly, steadily, behind the scenes, making a real difference in people's lives. In a recent interview, Garner explained how she stays grounded despite the pressures of fame. She credits a large part of her mental well-being to her decision to prioritize her children and her family, even when it means turning down lucrative opportunities. For her, the well-being of her children and the children in need is more important than her own success or fame. This sense of balance and clarity is something many people admire about her. It's a quality that seems to be increasingly rare in today's celebrity-driven world. Hollywood's changing landscape. Hollywood has always been a world of image, power, and influence. But with the rise of social media, fans have become more aware of the true nature of their favorite stars. The days of the perfect celebrity image are long gone. The transparency and accessibility of social media have allowed fans to see behind the curtain, and this has led to more scrutiny. People are no longer content to just admire their idols from afar. They want to know who they are when the cameras aren't rolling, when the photos aren't staged. This shift has forced celebrities like J.Lo to carefully manage their image in a way that's never been necessary before. And for Jennifer Garner, who has spent her career cultivating an image of humility and generosity, this shift has worked in her favor. People appreciate her authenticity, her work ethic, and her dedication to causes that truly matter. Final thoughts: where do they stand? Looking at both J.Lo and Jennifer Garner, it's clear that they represent two very different approaches to fame and philanthropy. J.Lo, with her calculated public persona and willingness to use disasters to bolster her image, stands in stark contrast to Jennifer Garner, who focuses on real, impactful change and remains grounded despite her fame. The public may choose which side they favor, but one thing is clear: when it comes to genuine kindness, authenticity, and true involvement in causes, Jennifer Garner has earned her place as a role model. Ultimately, it's the actions that speak the loudest. J.Lo may have the fame and the fortune, but Jennifer Garner has something far more valuable: the respect and admiration of those who know her for the kind of person she truly is. As we continue to watch the unfolding events in Hollywood, one thing is for certain: our expectations of celebrities are shifting, and the ones who truly stand out are the ones who act with integrity, humility, and genuine love for others.